Hey folks, today I wanted to review and comment about this video that popped up on my YouTube home screen. It's by just Jailyn, and I clicked on it because it's called How to Restart Your Weight Loss Journey, 60-pound weight loss plus regaining weight. So I had to click on it because I was like, well, I just went through my own struggle with regaining the weight. You know, it started back in late 2020 when I noticed that I couldn't get back down to where I really wanted to be. If you're new here, I lost 170 pounds through a ketogenic lifestyle, and I kept it off like from 2017 to 2020. Like I hit my goal in 2017, and then towards the end of 2020 it just kind of bumped up, and her video really spoke to me, so I wanted to talk about our similarities and our differences and just help those folks who struggle with weight loss or regaining the weight that they've already lost. Because I'll tell you what, that's almost harder than starting weight loss at all, is realizing that you are regaining the weight. I would highly recommend checking her out. She seems so sweet in her video, and I will link her channel and social media down below. So let's get started.
Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Jailyn, where the heck have you been? The last time I have brought you guys some weight loss content was probably about a year and a half ago, and I know some of you are very curious as to where I'm at on my health journey. So here goes. Back in August of 2018, I went completely vegan, and it was probably one of the best decisions I had ever made. I was feeling so much better. I had so much more energy, and all in all, I was just taking better care of my health and my body. I also was doing various workout programs, such as the Warrior Lifestyle program, that helped me incorporate exercise and give me guidance on my meals. But like many people, when quarantine hit, my health took a hit as well.
Okay, so right off the bat, I noticed that we did a totally different type of weight loss system to lose our weight and hit our goals. You know, I basically just changed my diet and I went higher fat, higher protein, lower carb. I'm assuming that if she went vegan, then she went higher carb, low fat, probably moderate protein, and she's working out. And you know, I have no qualms about how people want to lose weight, because I think that weight is such an issue in our country. We have so many health problems related to weight: heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. I think even some cancers are connected to weight. So I say do what works for you. You know, even though I promote keto, I understand. I'm not like some keto nerd freak trying to like push keto on everybody. I just want everybody to be healthy. So I'm glad that this worked for her. And the moral of that story is you should find what works for you.
Gyms were closed, grocery shopping wasn't the same, and overall, we just had to get used to a new normal. But it wasn't just the quarantine. Around that time, I also got into a serious relationship. I started a business, and overall, I just had a lot of life changes in a very short amount of time.
Yes, so I'll tell you what, the men in our lives will ruin our weight loss goals. I also met the man back in 2020, and you know, it was quarantine, so there wasn't a lot to do. And honestly, one of my favorite things to do is to go out to eat. Like, that's just a good time to me. And so mostly what we did when, you know, we met was I'd ring him up and I'd be like, hey, I got a bottle of wine, you pick up some food, we'll watch a movie. And so that was like happening multiple times a week, where we would get takeout and have some drinks, and all those calories just really added up by the end of 2020. And I noticed I couldn't stay at my goal weight. Of course, the stereotype in my eyes proves true. Men just don't seem as affected by what they eat. I mean, I know that they have more muscle mass, so they're like burning more calories throughout the day. It's just really unfair, because I want to partake in some good food with my man. I just feel like I have to be so precise about what I eat, you know, and I'm measuring and calculating everything, and he can just eat whatever he wants, whenever he wants. It's unfair. Don't let the men in your lives drag you down, ladies. You stick to your goals, okay?
And so my health and food choices weren't at the front of my priority list anymore. But over time, I've noticed a difference in the way that I feel and the energy that I have and the overall confidence I have in my body. And I want to get that back.
Yeah, so once you start seeing that weight come back on, you're like, oh, I just feel awful. Like, I was literally last year, which was 2021, you know, I realized I just could not get back down to my goal weight unless I seriously dieted again. It messed with me mentally. Like, I just felt like a failure. My clothes weren't fitting. I popped. the little hook, at the top of the zipper of one of my favorite skirts, and I still haven't fixed it. So, I mean, I felt ugly. I felt like none of my clothes fit. I felt uncomfortable. And yeah, it's like it brought me down. It kind of shifted my mood from like spring to fall of last year. So, when people say, like, Allie, why are you so freaking out about the food that you eat? You're at your goal, you look fine. It's because, like, when I was up 15, 20 pounds for the last year, I didn't feel good. And it was like a physical feeling and a mental feeling.
Like most people, my life went through a series of changes during the quarantine, and one of those changes included weight gain. I know that it's been a while since we've been on lockdown, but it's been hard to adjust because it hasn't really been a new normal. As a matter of fact, things have changed even more for me because I moved from my small, quiet town in Virginia to living in Miami, Florida. Now, I would be lying if I said that moving to Miami didn't play a role in losing some of my body confidence. A lot of people, a lot of people here have had body modifications, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I worked in the nightlife industry as a bartender my first few months here, and I definitely found myself comparing myself to other people a lot.
Yeah. I compare myself to basically everybody I see, and that's when I get my saddest, and that's when I get my most depressive, and that's when I binge, is when I'm, just like, ugh, whatever, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be the way that I want to be. Comparison is the thief of joy. I made this video for one of my Merlot downs talking about how I really do fear that we are losing the idea of what a real body is. When I think of a bikini, I think of the models that pop up when I'm scrolling Facebook and they're trying to sell me a bathing suit. When I think of beautiful people, it's, I think of all of these like celebrities and influencers and models that we see all the time. And there's just no comparison. They've been photoshopped, they've been airbrushed, they've been digitally altered, they've had surgery. And like she said, I'm not against surgery. I'm against society expecting everybody to look like they've had surgery, right? And so honestly, like sometimes I would get so sad that, I was comparing myself to these images of other women that I would like feel compelled to show the man a picture of a woman and be like, look, this isn't real. Like I felt like I needed to like have him know and like know that he knew that, she's been airbrushed. Look, this is a real picture of her. She's not sucking in her stomach. She's not posing. This is real lighting. Like, she's not that great looking. And that was because I was insecure. I was just so frustrated with how I was comparing myself to others. And I shouldn't have put that pressure on him. He was just like, why are you showing me this? I've said in my videos that I still deal with loose skin. Like, it's obviously the most apparent when I want to wear a bathing suit. Like, I'm trying to plan my honeymoon and the man wants to go to some tropical paradise. And I'm thinking, well, I'd kind of rather go to Europe. Do I really want to go walk around for my entire honeymoon? No, I'm afraid of wearing a bathing suit all the time. So, that's just the struggles, I guess. I'm sure everybody has their own body image struggles that they deal with, but it just sucks.
For a while, I was in denial that I was actually gaining the weight back. I could see that my clothes were starting to fit tighter again and that I wasn't able to wear some outfits comfortably that I used to. But something in me just felt like it's okay. I lost the weight before, I can easily lose the weight again. This mindset was very dangerous because it just left me in a state where I felt like I could continue to eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want, and not exercise, but still maintain the body that I had gained through discipline and consistency.
Admitting that you are regaining weight is the hardest thing. It's much harder than admitting that you need to lose weight in the first place because it's scary, because you know how hard it is to start. You wonder if it'll work this time. Like, it's very scary to admit that. So props to those people who realize when it's happening and then do something to stop it from getting worse.
I couldn't have been further from the truth. At first, it was 5 pounds, then 10. And it seems like overnight, before I knew what had happened, I had gained 40 of the 60 pounds I had lost back. Even though I still attracted a lot of attention, I didn't feel beautiful anymore. And it wasn't just about how I looked. It was because I had worked so hard to achieve a goal that had felt impossible. And I had reached my goal, only to let it slip through my hands once again.
I like how she mentions that she reached her goal only to let it slip through her hands once again. That's such powerful imagery to me because it's like you have this thing that you've always wanted. You know, for me, all my life, I wanted to lose weight. And once I realized like I had gained my 20 pounds back, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm losing a handle on this. I'm like, I had this gift that I gave to myself and I just let it slide through my fingers. So I totally get it.
This guilt and shame that I felt, mixed with the new food cravings I was having due to sugar addiction and overloading on carbs, made starting over harder than I ever could have possibly imagined. When I finally decided to get serious about my health and weight loss journey again, it was a rude awakening. I felt like the veil had finally been lifted and I was finally seeing myself for how I actually looked and seeing the choices I made for what they really were. The first week was so hard because I realized how often I was eating out, how often I was eating sweets and sugars and drinking alcohol, and how that contributed to my weight gain. This hasn't been easy at all, and I've had to dig deep and do some soul searching about my why for those tough moments when temptation seems like too much to bear. But I haven't given up because I'm not going to quit on myself. Not this time, not again.
Yeah, having that reason always in the back of your head is probably the most important thing when it comes to losing weight and keeping it off. For me, when I first lost the weight, I was graduating from grad school. I was going to be a teacher. I did not want to be made fun of for my weight, and I didn't want to be passed over for jobs because of my weight, because I had read so many things about how, you know, people who are overweight are passed over for skinnier people. And so I did everything in my power to lose weight so that I didn't have those types of issues where I worked. And now, you know, my reasons change. You know, I've dated a pretty skinny guy. So I try and make sure that, you know, I look good next to him. I don't know. That's kind of a motivation. I bought all new clothes since I've lost weight in the past several years, and I just want to be able to wear those. So it's kind of financial. It has to do with my relationship. And, you know, it's things that I hold myself accountable to.
Restarting this health journey is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it's also one of the most important things I've ever done. And that's why I want to give you guys some tips and tricks to help you if you found yourself in a similar position and you want to get back on track with your weight loss journey. Now, this first tip may sound cliche, but I'm telling you, you cannot start your journey successfully until you complete this step. It wasn't until I was about a week into my journey that I actually fully forgave myself. But I had a little bit of a breakdown before because I was so angry with myself for allowing myself to get back to square one.
So she says, forgive yourself. You know, that's like the first thing. And I would add on to that, admit to yourself that you messed up, admit that you allowed those old habits back in, because you're going to have to forgive yourself. Like, you have to recognize that you're messing up. You know, you have to recognize that you've gone back to old ways. But yes, also, you have to forgive yourself. You have to say, well, you know, I could be depressed about this. I could, you know, just say, screw the world. I'm going to eat whatever I want. That's not going to get you back to your goal. Or you can say, well, yeah, that was a year of, you know, increased eating and calories and revelry. And now it's time to move on and get back to being the person that I want to be. You know, allow yourself to recognize that, move on, forgive and forget kind of thing, and just look forward.
But once I forgave myself and realized this is a long-term journey, I'm trying to be fit and healthy for a lifetime, not just for a season. It's okay to start over. I did it before, I can do it again. And this time, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be wiser, and I'm going to be stronger.
That is so true. Once you lose weight and then gain some of it back and then lose it again, you learn so much about what you did wrong. And then you can help others and educate others and give them tips and everything. I would say, you know, for me, I allowed some alcohol in throughout the week. You know, like I said, during COVID, when it was me and the man, we were like first getting to know each other. That was just what we did, unless we were like camping, but that only happened maybe once every month or so. So, yeah, you have to recognize how you've gotten lenient, and you have to come up with strategies to be more restrictive. And I know a lot of people cringe when they hear restrictive, but honestly, it's just a set of guiding rules that you can use to just keep you on path. It's a roadmap. Restrictions are, they keep you on the path that you want to be so that you can meet your health goals, right?
As someone who hates working out and would much rather eat an ice cream sundae than a veggie stir fry, take it from me that you can make weight loss fun. The way that you do this is by catering it to your needs. Your journey doesn't have to look like anybody else's. For example, one workout that I love to do is And Ate Fitness on YouTube. Another thing is, since I know I have a sweet tooth, I find ways to incorporate other things that are healthier that still satisfy that sweet tooth so that I don't just binge out and succumb to my cravings.
Right, yeah. And so you have to find ways to treat yourself. So I'm not a fan of working out like at all. The only reason I kind of did it for a while is because it was like quality time I got to spend with the man at the gym. But I'm not really a fan of working out. So, when she says like she had to find other ways to treat herself, yes, absolutely. I will talk about my favorite sweet treats. I love me some dark chocolate by Lindt. I love peanut butter. I've made my fair share of videos talking about keto sweet treats, and I say keep those to the holidays so that I don't go overboard, but you gotta treat yourself. And daily I eat my dark chocolate with like a little tablespoon of peanut butter, and that is just what I look forward to at the end of the day. And it keeps me satisfied.
Now, this next tip may seem a little bit counterintuitive because you're like, how can you get instant gratification with weight loss? Like, that's literally exactly what they tell you not to strive for. But hear me out. So, when I'm talking about instant gratification, basically what I'm talking about is just seeing the impact and the efforts of your hard work. One thing that helps motivate me and a lot of other people is using sweatbands and waist trainers. The reason why this is helpful for me is because after I do a workout in my sweatband and I take it off and I see the sweat dripping and I'm seeing that I'm losing water weight, it does really help me mentally to be able to associate the hard work that I'm doing with a reward that's paying off. With weight loss, you don't often see the real results until weeks, months later. So these small little forms of instant gratification can really help you to stay motivated along the way. So another way you can see some instant gratification in your weight loss journey, especially at the beginning, is by doing a detox. So the detox that I recommend is the apple cider vinegar detox.
So she's talking about, kind of like boosting your motivation at the beginning. And honestly, like with keto, that happened because once you just cut those carbs out the first week, I lost like 10 pounds of water weight. So I get that. That is so motivating. And I agree, you've got to find ways to keep yourself motivated in the beginning, whether it's, losing a lot of water weight, whether it's sweating it out at the gym. I agree. Like that water weight loss with keto definitely motivated me because I was like, hey, something inside of my body is changing and I see it because the scale says I'm 10 pounds down this week, So that's cool. I guess we'll keep doing this. So I get that.
So the final tip I want to share with you guys is knowing the difference between your fire and your why. Now, your fire is a short-term passion or goal that you may have that's helping you to stay motivated short-term. For example, my birthday is coming up, so I got a custom-made birthday dress and I intentionally ordered it a size smaller to help me to stay motivated to lose weight. Now, the difference between your fire and your why is a fire goes out. As much as I would love to be in my birthday dress, sometimes that alone is not enough to get me out of bed and in the gym. Now, your why, on the other hand, is a completely different story. Your why is a drive that gets you up in the morning. Your why is the person that you know you are deep down inside. Your why is the person that you imagine yourself to be when you think about yourself 10, 15, 20 years in the future. My why is that I want to be a strong, healthy mom and be a good example to my children of what health and wellness should look like.
Yeah. So in my videos, I totally agree. And I just call it something different. I call them, long-term goals and then your mini goals along the way. And especially in maintenance, the mini goals helped keep me on track for so long until the COVID year hit. Until 2020. Oh, maybe that's why I didn't have anything to look forward to. Oh, see, it helps to dive into your habits and things. No, but like for me, mini goals, like she said, birthday outings, holidays where you're going to take lots of pictures. I go to my ball when I can and it's going on. Those keep me on track. They're like, okay, I've really got to like shape up my diet these next couple weeks because I'm going to wear this dress and I want to look fabulous. And I know that I'm probably going to eat, maybe drink a little bit more that day or that night, having fun. So I want to cut down beforehand so I don't just like pack on weight. So I totally agree. Mini goals, date night for me. I look forward to that. So like all throughout the week, I'm really strict, like Monday through Thursday, and then like Friday hits, and I'm like, it's date night. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go out to eat. So, and I'm gonna look cute while I do it. So I totally get that. And then she calls it her why. I call it, yeah, just your main motivation, your goal. I kind of agree with her motivation. Right now, my main motivation is, I want to start a life with the man. I want us to be attracted to one another. I want us to be healthy for the long term if we have kids. I want to be that beautiful family that's like riding bikes at the park. Like I have this vision for what I want my life to be. So if I gained weight and, had health issues where I couldn't do those things, that would be devastating.
If you've made it to the end of this video, I just want to congratulate you. You're taking a step in the right direction. It doesn't matter what point you're starting over from. All that matters is you're taking the steps to start over. I'm so proud of you, and I hope that this video taught you something and you got some helpful tips or advice from this.
I think it's great that she lost 60 pounds and she recognized that it's time to, rein it in a little bit. Yeah, you had your fun year. I totally get that. But recognizing it is the first step, and then forgiving yourself, and then moving on, moving forward. I think she had some really good points, and our experiences are really similar. I think it's funny that she mentioned that she started dating somebody and then that changed her habits, because boy, it sure does. Man, why? Why does it gotta be that way? I guess you grow together and your habits change. Please be sure to check out just Jailyn's video and channel. She seems so sweet and I really loved this video, so definitely watch it on your own without me commentating on it. Commenting on it? And if you did enjoy my comments on her video, be sure to like this video, leave me a comment. What tip did you find of hers that was most helpful or that you agreed with the most? And subscribe to my channel because that would help me out lots and lots. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Allie. Have a good one. Bye.